Seneca once said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." But in relationships, preparation isn't just about finding the right woman, it's about avoiding the wrong one. Stoics understood human nature better than anyone. They knew that emotions can cloud judgment, that passion can make a man ignore red flags, and that a single bad choice in a partner can destroy a man's peace. You want love, but you don't want chaos. You want a relationship, but you don't want a trap. That's why today, we're breaking down 7 types of women you must avoid at all costs. If you ignore these signs, you'll pay the price in wasted time, stress, and regret. Watch until the end, hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's get into it. Chapter 1: The Insecure Girl. At first, her jealousy seems harmless, maybe even flattering. She wants to know where you are, who you're with, what you're doing. She asks little questions that feel like concern. "How was your day?" turns into "Who were you with?" and "Did anyone flirt with you?" At first, you don't think much of it. Maybe she even wraps it in affection, saying things like, "I just love you so much. I don't want to lose you." It feels like passion. It feels like she cares. But what seems like love is something far more dangerous. Insecurity never stays small, it grows. It digs its roots deep and spreads into every corner of the relationship. What starts as cute curiosity turns into something possessive. One day, she's just asking innocent questions. The next, she's scrolling through your social media likes, analyzing every interaction, demanding explanations for things that don't matter. And soon, she's not just asking, you feel like you're being interrogated. Why did she comment on your post? Who is this girl in your phone contacts? Why were you online but didn't text me back? At first, you try to reassure her. You tell her she has nothing to worry about. You remind her that she's the one you chose. But no matter what you say, it's never enough. An insecure woman doesn't hear reassurance, she hears an excuse. If you defend yourself, you're getting defensive. If you try to ignore it, you're hiding something. And if you actually have female friends or colleagues, forget it. Every interaction becomes suspect. And here's the scariest part, it doesn't stop. The more you try to prove your loyalty, the more suspicious she becomes. She starts checking your phone when you leave the room. Maybe she memorized your passcode when she thinks you aren't looking. She goes through your messages while you sleep, searching for something, anything, that justifies her paranoia. And if she doesn't find it, she won't feel relieved. She'll just assume you're better at hiding it. She stalks your social media. She notices when you follow someone new. She reads old comments, digging through years of posts just to find something to confront you about. She compares herself to every woman you've ever interacted with, convinced she's not good enough, convinced that you must be looking for someone better. And even though you've done nothing wrong, even though you've been nothing but loyal, you start feeling guilty. Guilty for making her feel this way. Guilty for talking to people. Guilty for simply existing outside of her. And that's exactly what she wants. An insecure woman doesn't just have trust issues, she needs control. She wants to dictate what you do, where you go, and who you spend time with. At first, it's subtle. She might say, "I don't like the way she looks at you." Or, "I just don't trust her." Before you know it, she's telling you to cut people out of your life. Old friends. Female co-workers. Maybe even family. And if you refuse, she'll frame it as a betrayal. "If you really loved me, you'd do this for me." And so, little by little, your world shrinks. At first, you justify it. She's just insecure. She's been hurt before. She needs time to trust me. But the truth is, it's never just insecurity, it's a warning sign of something much worse. Today, she's worried about another woman. Tomorrow, she's tracking your location. Next week, she's accusing you of cheating because you didn't text back fast enough. And before you even realize it, you're living under surveillance. You second-guess every action, every conversation, every glance at your phone, because you know what's coming if she finds something she doesn't like. You're not her partner. You're her prisoner. A relationship with an insecure woman isn't love, it's a never-ending battle. A battle where you are always on trial, always proving yourself, always fighting to convince her that she's the only one. But here's the truth, you will never win. No amount of reassurance, no grand gesture, no proof of loyalty will ever be enough. Because her problem was never about you, it was always about her. And that's why a Stoic man walks away. A Stoic man values peace. He knows that a relationship should be a place of strength, not a battlefield. He knows that trust is the foundation of love, and if a woman makes you feel like a criminal just for existing, then the relationship is already doomed. Because love isn't built on control. Love isn't built on fear. Love is built on trust. And without trust, there's nothing left to save. Chapter 2. The Materialistic Girl, Gold Digger. She cares about brands, luxury, and status more than she cares about you. Her happiness is measured by price tags, designer labels, and the number of likes she gets on her latest post. She's obsessed with social media, constantly flexing her latest designer handbag, her expensive shoes, and the high-end restaurants she gets into, not because she loves the experience, but because she loves showing it off. To her, life is about appearances. It's about being seen in the best places, wearing the best clothes, and making sure everyone around her knows that she's living the high life. Every moment must be Instagram-worthy. Every date night must be extravagant. Every interaction must reinforce the image she wants the world to see. And if you're with her, that means it's your job to provide it. She expects to be taken care of, spoiled, and showered with gifts. She doesn't just appreciate nice things, she demands them. At first, you might not even notice it. Maybe she starts small, mentioning a bag she really wants, talking about how much she loves guys who are generous, or hinting that a real man knows how to take care of a woman. Maybe it seems harmless. Maybe it even feels natural to indulge her a little. But before you know it, her expectations escalate. Dinners at fancy restaurants become normal. Expensive gifts become expected. The small requests turn into bigger ones, first a new bag, then a weekend getaway, then something even more extravagant. And suddenly, your worth in her eyes isn't based on your character, your values, or your loyalty, it's based on how much you're willing to spend. Now, let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with treating a woman well. There's nothing wrong with wanting to provide for someone you love. There's nothing wrong with enjoying nice things together. But there's a big difference between generosity and being used. And here's the question you need to ask yourself. If you lost your money tomorrow, would she still stay? Would she still look at you the same way if you couldn't afford the luxury vacations? Would she still love you if you stopped buying her expensive gifts? If you took her out to a simple dinner instead of an exclusive 5-star restaurant, would she still be happy? Or would she suddenly start pulling away, acting distant, making excuses? Would she start comparing you to other men who could provide her with more? Would she make you feel like less of a man because you could no longer keep up with her expectations? Because here's the truth, a materialistic woman doesn't love you. She loves what you can give her. She loves the lifestyle, the access, the comfort. And the second you stop spending, she's already looking for her next target. She doesn't see you as a person, she sees you as a provider, a means to an end. And once you no longer serve that purpose, she won't hesitate to move on. A woman like this will never truly be satisfied. No matter how much you give, no matter how much you provide, she will always want more. If you take her on a vacation, she'll wonder why it wasn't longer. If you buy her jewelry, she'll start talking about the next piece she wants. If you give her everything, she'll still find something missing. Because what she truly craves isn't love with status. And love without status? To her, it's worthless. She wants to be envied, admired, and seen as the woman who has it all. And if that illusion fades, so does her affection. And let's not forget the other danger of being with a materialistic woman, the pressure to keep up. Maybe at first, you can afford to spend. Maybe buying her gifts doesn't feel like a big deal. But over time, the pressure builds. You start making decisions based on her expectations, not your financial reality. You might stretch your budget, dip into your savings, or even go into debt just to keep her happy. And for what? For someone who would leave the moment you couldn't provide for her anymore? For a woman who only values what's in your wallet? You start working longer hours, pushing yourself harder, taking on more stress, all to meet a standard that was never about love in the first place. You sacrifice your peace of mind, your financial security, and sometimes even your dreams just to keep up with her demands. And in the end, you realize something painful: it was never enough. It was never going to be enough. A Stoic man understands that true wealth has nothing to do with material possessions. Money can buy comfort, but it can't buy loyalty. It can buy luxury, but it can't buy love. And the man who allows himself to be trapped by a woman's expectations, who sacrifices his financial security just to keep her around, hasn't earned success. He's enslaved by it. A real man doesn't waste his hard-earned wealth on a woman who only sees him as a wallet. A real man values a woman who stands by him through any situation, not just when times are good, but when times are tough. Because that's the only kind of love worth keeping. So before you invest your time, energy, and resources into a woman who seems to value material things above all else, take a step back and ask yourself, what kind of relationship am I building? Am I with someone who loves me for who I am, or for what I can give? And most importantly, if I walked away tomorrow, would I be leaving behind love, or just an illusion of it? Chapter 3. The Girl with No Girlfriends. She tells you, I just don't get along with other girls. Maybe she says it with a shrug, like it's no big deal. Maybe she even wears it as a badge of honor, like she's above the drama, like she's different from all the rest. She insists that women are catty, that they gossip too much, that they always bring unnecessary drama. So, instead, she surrounds herself with guys. At first, this might sound appealing. She's not caught up in petty fights, she doesn't obsess over meaningless gossip, and she seems easygoing compared to the high-maintenance women you've dealt with before. She makes it seem like she's the cool, laid-back type, the kind of girl who can just hang with the boys without all the usual complications. And let's be honest, a woman who isn't constantly glued to a group of friends talking about nonsense? That might sound like a breath of fresh air. But take a step back. Why can't she maintain female friendships? Is it really because she's just so different from other women, or is there something deeper going on? Because here's the truth, a woman's relationships with other women reveal a lot about who she really is. If every female friendship she's ever had has ended in disaster, if she's constantly finding herself at war with other women, if every story she tells involves being betrayed or backstabbed by another female, there's one common denominator in all of that. And that denominator is her. Think about it. Sure, 1 or 2 bad friendships could just be bad luck. But if she has no female friends, none at all, that's a serious red flag. Friendships between women, just like friendships between men, require trust, respect, and emotional maturity. A woman who can't hold onto a single healthy friendship might not just be unlucky, she might be the kind of person who thrives on conflict, who plays the victim, or who sabotages relationships the moment things don't go her way. And here's where things get even worse. If she has no female friends, who do you think she's going to turn to for every single emotional need? That's right. You. When a woman doesn't have any close friendships outside of her relationship, she makes you her sole emotional support system. That means every insecurity, every self-doubt, every bad mood, you become the only outlet for all of it. If she's feeling jealous, she'll take it out on you. If she's having a bad day, you'll hear about it non-stop. If she needs someone to vent to, if she wants to complain about every little inconvenience in her life, if she needs someone to prop up her self-esteem, you're the only one available. And that kind of emotional weight, it's exhausting. It's draining. It turns a relationship from something fulfilling into something that feels like a job. But it doesn't stop there. A woman with no female friends doesn't just rely on you emotionally, she controls you emotionally. Because when she has no life outside of your relationship, you become her whole world. And that's when the real problems begin. At first, she'll make it seem like she just wants to be close to you. She'll say things like, "I just love spending time with you," or "I feel like you're the only person who really understands me." And while that might sound sweet, what she's really doing is setting the stage for isolation. She'll get jealous when you spend time with your friends. She'll make you feel guilty for wanting a night out. She'll frame it as, "Why do you need to go out when you have me?" or "If I just feel like I'm not a priority to you." Slowly but surely, she'll make you feel like spending time with anyone else is a betrayal of her. She won't come out and say you can't have other relationships, but she'll make you feel like you're doing something wrong when you do. And that's dangerous. Because the moment you start sacrificing your own friendships, your own support system, and your own independence just to keep her happy, that's when you lose yourself. A healthy relationship should add to your life, not take over every part of it. A woman who lacks friendships doesn't just come with baggage, she comes with chains. She'll tie herself so tightly to you that eventually, you won't even realize how much of your freedom, your energy, and your peace of mind she's taken. So if a woman tells you she has no female friends, don't just brush it off. Don't assume it's just because she's different. Ask yourself why she's alone. Because the answer to that question? It might save you from stepping into something you'll regret. Chapter 4: The Lazy Girl. She has no goals, no ambition, no passion. She drifts through life, not because she's searching for meaning, but because she refuses to put in the effort to create it. She wakes up late, spends hours scrolling through social media, binge-watches shows, and constantly complains about how unfair life is. But when you ask her what she's doing to change it, silence. She has no answer because she does nothing. She waits. Waits for a miracle. Waits for luck. Waits for someone, maybe you, to come along and lift her out of her stagnation. She believes success is something that just happens to people, not something they work for. She fantasizes about a better future, but when it comes time to act, she has an excuse. "I'm tired. I don't feel like it. Maybe tomorrow." And tomorrow never comes. Yet, despite her own lack of effort, she expects you to keep leveling up. She expects you to be driven, hard-working, and successful. She wants a man who has his life together, a man who wakes up early, grinds, hustles, builds, and grows. She admires ambition in others, but refuses to cultivate it in herself. And at first, you might not see the problem. After all, your success is your responsibility, right? You're used to carrying your own weight. But here's the truth, a lazy woman will make you lazy too. Energy is contagious. The people you surround yourself with influence your habits, mindset, and discipline. A woman with no drive, no self-improvement, and no motivation to better herself won't inspire you to push forward. She'll drag you down. Slowly, without you even noticing at first, she'll start to chip away at your momentum. Maybe it starts small. You wake up early, but she's still in bed, and instead of jumping into your day, you lay there a little longer. You're excited about a new goal, but she shrugs it off, uninterested. You talk about your ambitions, and she dismisses them with, "Why work so hard? Just enjoy life." And bit by bit, that fire inside you dims. She won't push you to be better. She'll distract you, drain you, and keep you stuck at her level. Not because she's evil. Not because she's trying to sabotage you. But because she simply doesn't understand the value of progress. She doesn't see the purpose in striving for more. She lives for comfort, not growth. She prioritizes ease over effort. She chooses entertainment over education, indulgence over discipline, stagnation over evolution. And if you stay, you will become like her. A man's environment shapes his destiny. If you spend your time with a woman who lacks ambition, you will start to mirror her habits. Your drive will weaken. Your motivation will slip. Your standards will drop. Instead of becoming the best version of yourself, you will settle because the energy around you no longer pushes you forward. A Stoic man never settles for mediocrity. He understands that a fulfilling life is built on challenge, effort, and growth. He surrounds himself with people who inspire, challenge, and elevate him. He seeks a partner who fuels his ambition, not one who passively watches life pass her by. A lazy woman will never do that. Instead, she will drain your energy and demand your success while contributing nothing to it. She will expect to reap the benefits of your hard work without ever lifting a finger herself. And if you call her out on it, she'll make excuses. She'll play the victim. She'll tell you it's just who she is and that you should accept her as she is. But a man on a mission does not attach himself to dead weight. He does not let himself be held back by someone who refuses to grow. He does not waste his time trying to motivate a woman who has no interest in motivating herself. If she won't put in the effort to build her own life, why should she have access to yours? So, if you find yourself with a woman who has no goals, no discipline, and no desire to evolve, ask yourself, is this the kind of energy you want influencing your future? Because the strongest man in the world can still be slowed down if he's constantly carrying someone who refuses to walk on her own. Let go of dead weight. Choose a partner who moves forward with you, not one who keeps you stuck in place. Chapter 5. The Attention Addict. She is addicted to attention, not just a little, but completely consumed by it. Social media, validation, male admiration, these things aren't just a side hobby for her, they are her lifeline. Every moment of her day revolves around the pursuit of external approval. The right angle, the perfect filter, the most flattering pose, every detail meticulously crafted to ensure she gets the maximum number of likes, comments, and messages. Her Instagram is a never-ending highlight reel, carefully curated to create the illusion of a glamorous, enviable life. Bikini shots, gym selfies, seductive gazes into the camera, all designed to provoke a reaction. She doesn't just want attention, she craves it, depends on it, feeds off it like an addict in need of their next fix. Now, you might think, it's just social media. Everyone does it. It's harmless. But is it really? Take a step back and ask yourself, why does she need that much external validation? Why is she so desperate for strangers' approval? If she were truly confident, truly secure in herself, would she need to broadcast her body, her lifestyle, her every move to the world just to feel worthy? The harsh truth is this: an attention addict is never satisfied. No matter how much you compliment her, reassure her, or make her feel special, it will never be enough. The moment she feels the slightest dip in engagement, the smallest decrease in validation, she starts hunting for the next dopamine hit. And if you ever stop giving her attention, if you ever slip up, get busy, or fail to feed her ego for even a short time, she will find someone who will. And trust me, she already has backup options. The attention addict never truly belongs to one man. She belongs to the highest bidder, the one who, at any given moment, is providing the most validation. That might be you today, but tomorrow? It could be a guy who left a fire emoji on her story, or a stranger who DM'd her with some generic compliment, or an ex who suddenly resurfaced. She keeps her options open, always ready to switch to a new source of admiration the second her current one stops being exciting. A Stoic man doesn't compete for attention. He doesn't chase, doesn't beg, doesn't get caught in the endless game of trying to outgive the next guy. He understands that a woman who values external approval over true connection will never bring peace into his life. Because with an attention addict, everything is a performance. Every post, every interaction, even your relationship, it's all about optics. She isn't interested in a deep, meaningful bond. She's interested in looking like she has won. She wants the world to see her as desirable, wanted, adored. And if you aren't playing along with the script, if you don't fit into the perfect Instagrammable love story she wants to portray, you become disposable. A woman like this will never be truly present with you. Even when she's sitting next to you, she's somewhere else, checking her phone, scrolling through comments, mentally calculating how she can maximize her next post. You could be having a deep conversation, and she'll interrupt to take a selfie. You could be on a date, and she'll spend more time curating her Instagram story than actually enjoying the moment with you. She is not looking for a man, she is looking for an audience. And here's the real danger: if you allow yourself to get emotionally invested in a woman like this, you will always feel like you're competing. You will feel the pressure to prove that you're enough, to keep her interested, to outshine the endless stream of digital admirers she keeps around. But the reality is, you will never win. The game is rigged, and the house always wins. A Stoic man seeks depth, not shallow performance. He wants a woman who values his presence more than the approval of strangers online. He chooses substance over spectacle, connection over clout. And most importantly, he knows that a woman who truly values him doesn't need an army of admirers to feel worthy. So if you see the signs, if you recognize the never-ending thirst for attention, the addiction to external validation, the constant performance for an invisible audience, walk away. Because the only way to win this game is not to play at all. Chapter 6: The Drama Queen. Her life is always a mess. Not just the occasional bad day, not just a rough patch, constant, never-ending chaos. She's always in the middle of some argument, some crisis, some battle she insists on fighting. She has exes she still argues with, family members she's estranged from, friends she cycles through like disposable napkins. One week, she's best friends with someone. The next, they've betrayed her. And then it repeats. At first, her intensity might seem exhilarating. She's passionate. She feels everything at 100%. Her highs are intoxicating, her excitement contagious. She tells you wild stories about people who've done her wrong, and you start to feel like you're on her side, defending her from a world that seems hell-bent on making her life difficult. But soon, the pattern becomes clear: the drama never stops. No matter how much you listen, no matter how much you try to help, there's always another problem. another person who has wronged her, another situation that is unfair. And you start to notice something unsettling. It's never her fault. She's always the victim. The world is always against her. And anyone who dares to question her perspective, they become the enemy. She doesn't just experience drama. She thrives on it. She needs it. It fuels her. When things calm down, she gets restless. If there's no conflict, she will create one. She'll pick a fight over something small, something insignificant, just to stir the pot. She'll test you, push your buttons, accuse you of things that make no sense. And when you react, she'll play the victim all over again. A Stoic man values emotional stability. He sees drama for what it is, an addiction to chaos. He understands that a person's external world reflects their internal world. If a woman's life is full of constant problems, it's because she invites them, cultivates them, feeds off them. And if you let her in, she will bring those problems into your life. At first, you might think you can handle it, that you can be her rock, her grounding force, the man who finally brings her peace. But the truth is, she doesn't want peace. She wants the rush, the emotional roller coaster, the constant tension that makes her feel alive. And if you stay, she will drag you down with her. Run. Chapter 7. The Rebound Seeker. She just got out of a relationship, and now, suddenly, she's all in on you. She's texting constantly, showering you with attention, and making you feel like the most important man in her world. She tells you how different you are from her ex, how you make her feel alive again, how she's never connected with someone this fast. Maybe she even says things like, "I feel like I've known you forever." Or worse, "You're exactly what I need right now." Sounds flattering, right? Sounds like fate? Sounds too good to be true? That's because it is. A woman who jumps from one relationship to the next isn't looking for love, she's looking for a distraction. She's not choosing you because you're the best man for her. She's choosing you because you're there. Because she doesn't know how to be alone. She's running from the emptiness that follows a breakup, and you just happen to be the first person to fill that void. And here's the most dangerous part, she believes it. She truly thinks you're the one, that you're special, that this time is different. But it's not. Because in reality, you're not the main character in this story, you're just a bandage. A temporary fix. A placeholder. She's not over her ex. She hasn't processed the breakup. She might still be checking his social media, still comparing every little thing you do to him, still replaying old memories in her head. She's carrying all that emotional baggage, and instead of unpacking it, she's dumping it onto you. And you won't notice it at first. Maybe she just vents a little, shares a few stories about how toxic he was. Maybe she reassures you, "Don't worry, I'm completely over it." But slowly, the signs will start to show. She brings him up in every argument. She makes constant comparisons, sometimes praising you for being better, other times criticizing you for being just like him. She gets upset when you don't comfort her the way he did. She keeps certain things from her past relationship alive, whether it's an old hoodie, a playlist, or even late-night messages she swears mean nothing. And no matter how much effort you put in, no matter how much love and reassurance you give her, you will always feel like you're competing with a ghost. You're not her boyfriend. You're her therapist. You're the emotional punching bag she leans on when the weight of her past gets too heavy. You're the substitute, the distraction, that new beginning she tells herself she needs. And yet, deep down, you know the truth, she's still healing, but you're the one paying the price. And here's the worst part, what happens when she finally heals? What happens when she stops thinking about him? When she no longer needs to prove she's moved on? When she wakes up one day and realizes she feels whole again, she'll leave. Not because you did anything wrong, not because you weren't enough, but because she never truly chose you, she just needed you. And now that she's strong again, she'll start wondering if you're really the right man for her. She'll crave excitement. She'll want a fresh start. And just like that, you, the man who helped her rebuild, will be left behind, wondering how you went from being her everything to nothing at all. And that's why a Stoic man never lets himself be someone's emotional crutch. A Stoic man values his time, his energy, and his heart. He understands that a woman who hasn't fully processed her past is not ready for a future with him. He refuses to let himself be used as a stepping stone, as someone's personal therapist, as the rebound guy who exists solely to make a woman feel whole again. Because love isn't about saving someone. Love isn't about filling a void. Love is about choosing each other, not out of loneliness, not out of desperation, but out of true connection. And if she hasn't healed? If she's still carrying the weight of another man? If she's rushing into something just to avoid facing herself? Then the strongest move you can make is simple. Walk away. A Stoic man doesn't let himself be someone's emotional bandage. He wants a woman who chooses him for who he is, not just because she's trying to escape her past. Dating the wrong woman isn't just a bad experience, it's a waste of your life. A Stoic man values his peace, his growth, and his freedom. He doesn't let emotion blind him. He sees the signs, recognizes the patterns, and walks away before it's too late. If you've ever dealt with one of these women, share your story in the comments. And remember, never ignore the red flags. Hit like, subscribe, and stay strong.